Hello and welcome to Retro Cars Reborn. I'm Lee, and if you're new here and are interested in retro cars and classics and what it takes to keep them on the road, start by clicking the subscribe button, clicking the bell so you can keep up with everything that I release. And with that, on with the video. I've got the red panel which still has all the edges on it, with the white panel which has got all the tabs missing. These are actually off the wings, these little shaven tabs. But it would seem when this red front was removed, they cut the front of the car off, so they cut this piece off completely and left it attached. So whatever front of this came off, they just cut the front end off. But yeah, it would seem that half of the top shelf is missing, so we've just got to graft those two corners on, and I'll leave this centerpiece in, so that's my reference point of how high each side has to be. But I shall measure the distance, take a focal point like this piece here, this line there, and measure it up to where the ledge is, and then vice versa on this other panel, and then we'll have made one decent panel out of two, because this one's not bad. It's a lot of surface rust, but it's not got edges cut onto it, and it hasn't got random bits of filler running all over it. God knows what else. Look at that chunk of filler, ridiculous. So far I managed to clean most of the gunk off the bottom. Moved up to the inside of the panel, where I've removed where the front end was left of that other Capri, and ground the welds flat so it does actually fit. It mocks up really well on the front. So at the minute I'm just going to try and get rid of most of this paint which is running along this edge, so we can see where we're going to have to graft it in. And I don't know if this camera will pick it up, but this bit at the end here is not straight, it's actually bent backwards. Kinks about there, goes down. So yeah, I'll get rid of some paint and we'll do a catch up. So this being the front valance, this piece here is called the shelf. I wonder why. So basically I'm just going to cut all the way down here now, take the shelf completely off, so then we can start mocking up where that's going to fit on the other panel, and we'll go from there. So with one panel becoming two, the red valance, I cut the shelf off completely, just what was left of it, chopped it off, and then literally a white shelf, two holes that line up perfectly there, so literally just lining up everything else. You can gauge now how much you need to cut off, where it needs trimming to fit on sides and whatnot, and then you can graft two panels into one, and I'll end up with a lower half that's relatively minted, still with all its side panels on, so I can bolt the wings on, and a upper shelf that, whereas the red one originally didn't have one. So yeah, so it's going pretty well so far. Do some more trimming, some more measuring, and then we'll see how far we get. So this is the front panel that I bought off eBay. This lower half was very cheap at a lovely 25 quid, and I had to go all the way to Birmingham to fetch it, but it's in way better condition than my lower piece, which is down there, and it's all battered and out of shape and covered in filler and all sorts. But yeah, the shelf had been removed off it. It was half there. This is all that was left of it. It's all that was left of the shelf, and there was no way I could plan to try and replicate all those little sophisticated pieces. So my plan was to use the original shelf that came with mine and splice it together. As you can see, many a repair on these corners. I'll flip it over and I'll show you the other side. This is the original shelf piece, this top piece, look. See the join there? It's had many a repair over the year. It's even got some lovely bodgedness here. And it's been, again, lovelily repaired. So I'm going to split the two halves again and have a look at repairing this shelf piece before I look at trying to splice it to the bottom half. And hopefully I'm going to attempt the 45-degree angle welding thing, because it turned out pretty well for these wing rails, or as Justin, my friend, would like me to say, wing whales. So yeah, I'll split these two apart and we'll show you what we're working with. Got to the point now of rubbing all these areas down to where they're going to be joined. Even managed to do it on the shelf, so hopefully I can now gauge on how much I'm going to be able to leave behind and how much is going to get cut off, because then I've got to make sure this is all straight, as whoever cut this off in the first place did a gash job of it. Same as this side, it's just all wavy and all over the place. So a bit more measuring and we should be ready to splice it together, but I'm definitely going to have to do plenty of repairs first, because I don't know if you can see that, they're not even joined. It's like they spliced these corners in on both sides and just never even bothered. So yeah, that's going to be fun. So this is where I'm at with it. I've literally got it held together, both pieces, to create one piece. And I think I'm ready to weld it together. Just a couple more measurements, a bit more getting it back to metal in certain areas. As you can see, I've got that nice shiny piece here, but it dips back into paint again, so that's going to have to be taken back to bare metal, and hopefully I shall do that so it looks like that both sides, and we should be ready for two to become one. Well, two have become one. I don't think it looked too bad at all. I mean, obviously it looks a little silly because it's got a white shelf and a red bottom, but it all seems to fit in the correct positions, so that's all good. I think what I'll end up doing is borrowing a spot welder. I'd love to buy one, but I don't think I've got the money to afford one at the minute, especially with Christmas coming up. But yeah, I think it looks a lot better than I thought it was going to do. It just needs rubbing down now, all the welds rubbing down and hiding, all spraying the same colour, and it will look even better than this. Words cannot describe what I'm seeing right now. It's starting to look like a car again. Oh my god. It's just... you know, it just makes it look like the end is in sight. Even though there's so much more work to do. But it's just so good to look at it. Starting to look like a car again. And be rebuilt. Yes, I mean, I just don't know what to say. I just need to get this side done now. Get this other wing rail fitted so I can get the other wing on. Oh my god, it'll look even better. Just look at it. Just chuck the bonnet on. Oh, that'd be amazing. It'd look even better. I'm so happy. So I'll end the video there, and the editing is nearly over, and on that one, everybody, all my viewers, all my subscribers, anybody who tunes in, new and old, have a good Christmas, and I shall see you in the next one.